Good morning students. Welcome back to operating system class. Today here I am going to explain the topic monitors, which is the last topic in a first unit. Again, this is also techniques which is used to solve the process synchronization. Okay, what is the use of the monitor? It is used to solve the process synchronization. What is the process synchronization? Actually, what is the process synchronization is when more than one process sharing the resources, means if there is any common resources are there, how that common resource is allocated to a different process, means in some sequence that resource should be allocated to a process, that is called as a process synchronization. And that process synchronization can be achieved by using a different techniques, means the process synchronization can be achieved by using a critical section. Okay, and a critical section also we have given different solutions, Peterson solutions, semaphores, locking with key. Already I have explained all those techniques. And the last technique is the monitor. Okay, so in the monitor, actually what we are doing is, monitor is the first thing, it is a abstract data type. Abstract data type. Okay, what it means? Abstract data type means it is a package actually. Okay, here I have given, you see, this is a complete package which contains different operations, and these operations are also called as procedures. Okay, functions. Okay, this package contains different procedures and some local variables and some conditional variables. Okay, what it is? It is a package. First thing is, it is a package and it contains conditional variables and different procedures and different local variables. Okay, and here whatever process want to use the functions inside the monitor, it is a block actually. Okay, whenever any process want to use the shared resources, that should enter into a monitor and that can use the resources. So whenever any process want to use the resources which are there in the monitor, first it should check whether any process is there inside the monitor or not. If any process is there inside the monitor, then that process cannot enter into a monitor. If no process is there, if there is no process inside the monitor, then a process can enter into a monitor. So here what I said, as already I said, it is an abstract data type, means which contains the functions, variables and conditional variable. Okay, what is a conditional variable? Here conditional variables are the variables only, like it is a variable only, but what it contains the state of the shared variables. The state means it is used, it is a busier or it is in an idle mode. It contains the state of the shared variable. Okay, conditional variables. Now come to operations and the local variables also you have. And here functions can, whatever functions are declared inside the monitor, that function can use the variables which are there in the monitor only, that are nothing but the local variables. So whatever functions are there in the monitor, that monitor can use the variables, that monitor can use the local variable. And one more point is, whatever local variables are there, that variables are used inside the functions or inside the functions of monitor. Means whatever variables are there in the monitor, that cannot be accessed outside of the monitor. So whatever variables are declared inside the monitor, that are called as the local variable, and that variables are used by the functions which are declared inside the monitor. Clear? Now here it contains the conditional variables, operations, local variable. So whichever process want to use, whenever any process want to use any common resource, first it should check whether the resources are available or the resources are in an idle mode. If the resources are busy, then the process need to wait. Next, if the resources are available, means they are idle state, then the process can enter into a monitor. Means in the monitor, actually monitor is mainly used for the mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion means only one process can run inside the monitor. If any other process want to execute at the same time, the process need to wait in the queue, means they need to form a line. Okay, if one process is executing inside the monitor. And what is the main advantage of the monitor? It is used to solve the mutual exclusion. What is a mutual exclusion? Mutual exclusion means if one process is running inside a block, another process cannot enter into a block. Means at a time only one process can be run. The remaining process need to be wait. Okay. Now this is about the monitor. So what is a monitor? It is a block which contains conditional variables, functions and local variables. So whichever process want to use that block, first it should check whether any resource, any process is there inside the monitor or not. Means according to your rules, only one process should be there inside the monitor. So if there is no monitor inside if there is no process inside the monitor, a new process can enter into a monitor. If any process is there inside the monitor, the new process need to wait. Means if more than one process is waiting for the monitor, they need to form a line. Okay, understood? So this is about what you can take screenshot of this. Okay, understood? So here whatever process are there, here what happened, here example is a process 2, process 3 and process 4. Already P1 is running inside the monitor. How many processes are there inside the monitor? Only one process is there inside the monitor, and P2, P3, P4, 3 processes are waiting for the monitor. So whatever process are waiting for the monitor, they need to form a line. So this is called as the queue. The queue which contains the process and which are waiting for the monitor. Okay, so according to a rule, monitor is means the main advantage of the monitor is it is providing the mutual exclusion. Only one process can run at a time, and another process need to wait if they want to use the same block. Clear all of you? Now here I will give the syntax of the monitor. Syntax. All of you write this syntax of the monitor. Monitor name. Monitor name. It is a user identifier. You can give any name. And data variables. Procedure P1. Procedure P2. Procedure N. Procedure N. Next, initialization code. So this is a syntax of the monitor. Yeah. Data variables means the variables which contains the data. Already, as you know that variables are used to store the value. So here variables are used to store the value. Next, here procedures are nothing but these are the functions. And whatever variables are there, these variables are there, no, that variables can be used only inside this function. And this function can use only these variables. Okay, all of you write on this. Initial first monitor name, next data variables, procedure P1, procedure P2, procedure N. Means you can, in one monitor you can write N number of procedures. Okay, P1, P2 and Pn. The last one is the initialization code. Whatever code is need to initialize the variables and functions, that code is written inside the initialization code. Here you can write this. Next a monitor contains two system calls, two functions it contains. Okay, functions or system calls, functions or system calls of monitor. Here monitor contains two system calls. First one is wait and the second one is the signal. Okay, already I have explained wait and signal also. Okay, where I have explained in a semaphores, I have explained the wait and the signal. So example, wait system call means if you have given, if any process is given wait system call on any conditional variable. So what happened? That process is suspended. That process is suspended and that process is stored in the suspend block. Okay, any process is given, if example any process is given wait system call on any conditional variable, what happened? That process is suspended and that process is stored in suspended block. Means that later you can resume that, but whenever it gives the wait system call, what happened? That current process is suspended, that is stored inside the suspended block. Clear? For example, two conditional variables are there, a, b. These two are a conditional variable. Okay, means conditional variables means what? The variables which contains the instance, means the state of the resources. Okay, because monitor contains the shared variable, shared resources. Here A contains some shared resource and B contains some shared resource. This A and B are called as a conditional variable because these two variables are stores the instance state of the resource variable. What is the state? Means that resource is used by someone or that resource is in a idle mode. That state, that is called as a state, and that state information is given by the conditional variable. Okay, say example, here one variable is given like this, a dot, so one process is given like this, a dot wait. Okay, a dot wait, one process is given. Example, the process name is x. X is the process and that process is given wait system call on a conditional variable. So what happened? That process that process should be suspended. And where we are storing that suspended process? In a suspended block we are storing. Clear? For example, one class is going on. One student came and lecturer said that you wait. So what happened? He is in a corridor only. Means that is a block. Similarly, if one process is running, another process is giving a signal. Okay, means a wait signal. So what happened? That process need to be suspended because one process is running inside the monitor. That process need to be wait for some time. Now, the next system call is signal. Okay, so the signal means whatever process are there in the suspended mode and some other mode. Okay, whatever process are there in the suspended mode, blocked mode, that process are given a chance to execute. Okay, signal means, okay, my turn is over, my lecture is over. I call the student to come inside. That is nothing but the signal. So what happened? We are giving a chance to the student to come inside. Okay, so using a wait system call, what happened? The present running process is suspended, and using a signal system call, what we are doing, whatever process is blocked, whatever process is suspended, for that process we are giving a chance to execute once again. Okay, now actually what are the main advantages of this is monitor achieves the mutual exclusion. Monitor achieves the mutual exclusion means using a monitor only one process can execute its program in one block in the critical section. Means only one process should be in a monitor. One process should be in a monitor, and whichever process want to execute the same blocks, same resources, that process should be wait outside the monitor. And one more point is whatever process are there outside the monitor, that process cannot use the shared resources and that process cannot use the local variables, but that process can use the procedures of the monitor. That point I have actually forgot. So conditional variables the outside process cannot execute, means cannot use. Whatever local variables are there inside the monitor, that variables also cannot used by the outside process, but outside process can use the procedures of that monitor. Okay, so if any process is given, any process is inside the monitor, only it can access the local variable and conditional variables of that monitor. But if any process is outside the monitor, that can access only the procedures of the monitor. Clear? Remember this point. Outside process can access the procedures of the monitor if they want to access. Clear? So what is the main advantage of the this monitor? It will provide the mutual exclusion. Clear? And next, actually it contains the shared resources. So that is why mutual exclusion is compulsory. If shared resources are there at a time, more than one process can access that resources. Only one process can use that resources. Okay. But what disadvantages you have? Actually, monitor whatever code is there, no, that code should be included by the programming languages. That code should be included by the programming languages. Okay, programming languages. Programming languages. Like in Java also we have this monitor code. This wait and notify. You can see this inside the threads. You can see the thread life cycle. You will get this wait, resume, notify. These methods you can find out threads concept you can find out, because Java is implementing a synchronization. Okay, so whichever programming want to use this concept. So what happened that this monitor code should be included in that programming languages, and that code should be compiled by the compiler. Okay, that is a disadvantage. Separate code should be included every time. Whichever program want to use the synchronization, that program should include this monitor programming code inside the programming language, and every time that should be compiled. Clear all of you? And this is about the monitor. Monitor is used to achieve the process synchronization. And what it is the block which contains conditional variables, procedures and local variable. And in a monitor, if one process is running, another process need to wait. At a time only one process can enter into a monitor, and whichever process want to enter into a monitor, they need to make a line. Means that they should maintain a queue. After one process, a new process will be, means after each and every process, means if for example P1 is executing, P2 need to wait, P2 is executing, P3 will wait. Like they keep one process is running, another process need to wait, means they need to maintain a queue. Okay, so whatever processes are there outside the monitor, they can access only the procedures of that function. Okay, but they cannot access the shared resources and the local variables. Clear all of you? And you can implement this monitor concept in a dining philosopher. You can include producer and consumer. You can include in different solution. You can include this monitors. Okay, this is about monitors. Now just I will revise complete, means I will summarize here first unit, means whatever is there from the first unit, from the starting to ending, again I will summarize. Okay, now here I will summarize the first unit. Okay, in the first unit we have different chapters. The first chapter is a introduction to OS. In that chapter already I have explained what is the operating system, functions of operating system, and a computing environment I have explained. Okay, what is the operating system? It is an interface between a user and the hardware of the system. It is an entry point. Okay, example, I am in the class. Okay, one classroom is there, and one student want to come inside the class. Okay, student is outside. Okay, and this classroom is different. Student is a user and this classroom is a hardware. And what is the entry point there? Your door, whatever door is there, that is an entry point, is nothing but the operating system. Means using a door only we are entering into a classroom. So using operating system only we can access the hardware of the system. So that is why here the operating system is called as an interface between user and the hardware devices of the system. As I explained the functions of operating system. What are the functions of the operating system? First one is a file management, resource allocation. Okay, so whenever any process is requesting for any resource, the operating system should give the resource. For that resources, it can follow any scheduling or it can follow any algorithm. But according to the priority, according to the importance of the resource, the shared resources should be allocated to a Not only shared resources, independent resources can also be allocated to a process. And file management, whenever any user is requesting for any file, the operating system should give the space to create a file. Whenever any process want to use, any user want to read the file, it should give the file. And a different computing environment also I have explained: distributed environment, client server environment. For example, here I am explaining, you people are watching the video, means here only one to many relationship. Okay, one client is giving no example, you are all, I am the client, you are all the clients, I am the server, I am providing information, you people are reading the information. Okay, so whichever system is providing the information, that is called as a server, and the persons, the systems who are using that information, that are called as a clients. That is one type of environment. And distributed environment, what we are doing, whatever information is there, that is distributed among different systems, and each and every system can use that data, it can manipulate the data. Means there what we are doing, we are maintaining the centralized database. In a one more environment is the peer-to-peer. In the peer-to-peer, what happened, only with the connected systems they can share the data, they can retrieve the data, they can share the data. Okay, they can send, and each and every process they will maintain their own copy as well as they will maintain the shared copy. Like that I have explained the virtualization, cloud computing. Okay, different architectures, different environments I have explained. Next, computer architectures. Architectures are you can explain in different ways by using the number of hardware you are using and the number of softwares you are using and number of process you are using. Okay, based on the process, how many architectures we have? One is a single processor architecture, next multi-processor architecture, and the third one is a cluster. In only one processor inside the CPU, that will come under the single processor. If more than one process is there inside the CPU, that will come under the multi-processor. Next, if the systems are grouped together, that will come under the cluster. Okay, different. Next, come to a second chapter. There I have explained what is a process. Scheduling queues I have explained, scheduling operations I have explained, different states of the process I have explained. What is the process? A process is nothing but a program only. But when that program is started, its execution, means when that process is transferred from your secondary memory to your primary memory for your execution, means that process is located inside the processor for execution. That is called as a process. Okay, if your program is executing, the program in execution is called as a process. Okay, so again in the process also, process definition is very important. And in a process also there are different states: ready state, running state, waiting state, suspended state, dead state, exit state. Okay, ready state means the process is ready for execution, but it is waiting for a process time. Running state means the process got the CPU time and it is executing. And due to if there is any interrupt, the process is waiting. That the waiting process can be moved to a suspended, or it can move to a exit state, means it can be terminated again, it can be a resume. It means that process is again starting, that can again move to a ready state, because if any process want to come to a running state, that should come from a ready state. Okay, so there are different states of the process. Now next, process scheduling I have explained. Scheduling means if more than one process is waiting for resources, what at a time we cannot give resource to all the process. So what happened, we are maintaining a queue. According to the queue, the resources can be allocated to a process, and that queue can be based on the priority, or they can be, means it's based on the time they have entered into a queue. We have a different criteria. Okay, now queues also, there are different queues: ready queue, running queue, job queue. Okay, understood? Means the process which are ready for the execution, that can be maintained inside the ready queue. The process which are running, that will be in a running queue. Okay, the process which are scheduled, that are called as a scheduling queue. Different queues we have based on the state of the process. And when any process is in any state, for each and every process there should be a process controlled block. Process controlled block means the block which contains the complete information about the process, means size of the process, location of the process, okay, the state of the process. Complete the process information is maintained by the PCB, and that information is taken by the operating system. Clear? Now different schedules also we have. Short-term scheduler we have, medium-term scheduler we have, long-term scheduling. So actually, what is a short-term schedule? Short-term schedule is also called as CPU scheduling. So the process is means the process is taken from a short-term schedule, and that can be put in a processor. And a middle-term scheduling is nothing but if one process is running inside the CPU and another process came into a queue, and that won't execute means that is a very important queue. That is a very important process. So what happened? We'll switch. Okay, whatever process is very important, that will be put in a processor, and whatever process is running, that is preempted from a CPU. That is called as a medium-term scheduler. The long-term scheduler means based on the job priority, will maintain a queue. Okay, that is called as a long-term scheduler. Clear? And the next one is a process synchronization. Process synchronization means whenever any process, more than one process is waiting for a resources, what happened? Some sequence should be maintained. Means resources are given to a process in some sequence. That is called as a synchronization. And how synchronization can be achieved? By using a critical section. What is a critical section? Actually, critical section is a block where only one process can enter at a time. If another process want to use that block again, that process need to wait till the current process release the critical section. Okay, critical section can be achieved by using different techniques. Already I have explained this Peterson solution, locking with key. Okay, next semaphores also I have explained. What is the semaphores? In the semaphores, what happened? Will maintain one integer value, non-negative integer value. It will maintain the state of the critical section. Means if it is a 1, there is no process inside the critical section. If there is a 0, 1 process running inside the critical section, the other process need to wait. Okay, that is a semaphores. Okay, synchronization hardware also I have explained. Means whatever Peterson solution is there, no, that is not applicable for a, means that they have not is more suitable for the modern architectures. Modern architecture, we have different techniques to solve the synchronization. That is a locking. Locking means if one process is inside the critical section, another process should not enter into the critical section. That is a locking. And the next one is a locking and key. So in a locking and key, what happened? It is similar to the first one, locking only. Here extra what we are giving is for each and every process we are additional variable we are giving. That is nothing but a key. So whenever any process want to use the resources, what it should check? Lock equals to false and key equals to true. If the two conditions are satisfied, then only the process can enter into a critical section. And when it enters into critical section, again it should change the value of the lock and key. Lock should be true, key should be false. And this is the last topic in your syllabus. In the first unit. It's a monitor. Monitor means what? It is a package. Okay, in the package what we are doing, just we are inserting the conditional variables, procedures, and this local variable. Conditional variables, what it contains? It contains state of the shared variable. Means whatever shared variables are there, that shared variables are busy or they are in idle mode. That state information is maintained by the shared variable, and that shared variable is also called as a conditional variable. Okay, so and in the monitor only one process can be inside the monitor. Okay, and if another process want to use the same monitor, they should maintain a line. Okay, means at a time only one process should enter into a monitor. If another process want to use the monitor, they should wait, because according to the rules, what happened? Monitor can execute only one process at a time. Whichever process want to execute this monitor again, same, they need to maintain. Okay, whatever outside process are there, they can use the procedures of the function, but they procedures of the monitor, but they cannot use the shared resource of that monitor. Okay, because this monitor concept is providing the mutual exclusion. What is the mutual exclusion? Only one process can be in the critical section. Means one process should be in execution. Only one process should be in execution. If one process is executing, the remaining process should be in a waiting state. They should be in a queue. In the last picture already I have explained. Okay, this is about your first unit, and tomorrow in the next class we will continue with the second unit. Thank you.